Oh, she literally wasn't allowed to participate in science club. Her parents isolated her, and now she feels like shit. So I don't tend to cross into the Jehovah's Witness territory as often as I could. I tend to leave that more to Telltale. That's very much Owen's area of expertise. But sometimes they start new projects. And this one speaks to something I've been talking about a lot in videos recently, isolationism. I'm not a big advocate for people isolating themselves. I think it's a good idea to stay away from your own personal echo chambers, and it's a good idea to get an idea of the world around you and the people who inhabit it. So when I heard that the Jehovah's Witnesses had started putting out propaganda telling kids to be super selective about the people they have around themselves and isolate themselves from everybody else so that they can be more easily manipulated by the Watchtower, I decided that it was probably a good idea to cover some of that content. But before we get into that, let's get into the fan art section. The first one here is from Fanver. Said a work in progress of a Surus proxy art for Ponder, inspired by the pixel art Snowlands, also because it's the only art style where I feel like I have control over the outcome. My first fan art, though hold on, this one's going to trigger copyright, so we're going to boop. My first fan art, though I do feel the need to rework large portions of it as I dislike the color scheme, the face and head needs to be redone, etc. Also, I'm not an artist, so be nice. I mean, as pixel art goes, I still think it's pretty good. Like, this reminds me of, did any of you play the games that were on the Homestar Runner website? All of the 8-bit adventure titles they had on there, or the Mega Man clones or stuff like that? This reminds me of that type of art style. The next one we have here is also this one's from Altered Rin. Said, just got my tattoo gun yesterday. Not very good with it, but here's a funny little neckcoin. I'm not saying the word that's before that. Heck you. In case Surus wants a permanent reminder of his creation, it is on practice skin for anyone wondering. So no, I don't want a permanent reminder of my creation because it was not my creation. I'm also not big into tattoos in the first place, so this would be a double whammy of no for me. This would be trauma for me. I think I'll stay away from it. But thank you very much for your fan art submissions, everybody. As always, if you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, we're going to get right into the content right after you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. I just realized that when I tilted my head that way, my mouth didn't move. So that was really uncanny, and I don't like that at all. Let's get right into things. So the first thing they have is a video called A Message for Your Family, where they talk about, or the Watchtower Society talks about what this project is. So we're going to get into that before we get into the actual lesson at hand. Beep.
Some of the greatest joys we experience in life are as a result of a happy family life. But living in these hectic last days, achieving such happiness is very difficult.
It's always the last days, isn't it? It's been the last days for thousands of years.
The governing body deeply appreciates you hardworking parents and all that you're doing to try to help your children find a rich, satisfying life. As a parent, I remember the challenge we faced trying to develop love for Jehovah in the hearts of our two little boys. We used the tools available, the Bible, Watchtower articles, and then in 1978, how thrilled we were to receive my book of Bible stories. What a godsend this proved to be.
When the propaganda is not good enough, tailor it specifically to the kids so that it can be ingested easier.
Over the years, the governing body has provided many additional teaching aids to help our young ones, and we have no intention of stopping there. It is a fact that animated videos capture the interest of little ones and can be a powerful teaching tool. Hence, it's my privilege on behalf of the governing body to introduce to you a new animated video series entitled Become Jehovah's Friend. This is just a preview of what we have in store for you in the future. Children can learn so much during their formative years. The lessons they learn at a very young age can make an impression that lasts a lifetime. It is our prayer that this new series will help your children to learn to make God's heart rejoice.
Again, it's just reiterating, we were ineffective in the past at propagandizing to small children. We will be more effective in the future at propagandizing to small children. So you kind of get the idea, right? You get the idea of what we're going to. It's going to be more of the Caleb and Sophia style of video, where it's aimed directly at kids, and it's trying to use concepts that kids can understand to try to keep them in line with the Jehovah's Witnesses, a society that, I should remind you, has had to pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars in the past trying to cover up a myriad of sexual scandals that they were literally at one point, what was it, $4,000 a week or a day? One or the other, they were having to shove out to the government because they were trying to shelter known predator priests. So I poisoned that well because I don't like this society. I think that it's a disgusting group of people, and many of the rules that they use to govern themselves internally are just straight up abusive. So, let's go ahead and click a button and take a look. Ow.
You got this, come on. Go, go, go.
Got a bunch of kids.
Bro, that was good.
Just kind of hanging around. Okay, she's just kind of. This is a kid who is very, very, very alone. She is showing all of the basic things that you would show anybody. Like if you're trying to show like a TV series where you want to show the character that will one day gain a whole bunch of friends, this is what you show. You show the person isolated, you show them sad, you show them looking at other people who are potential friends with longing. You show all of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at more of the video. Now that we've got our protagonist, our very, very sad Goral, let's see what happens. Who should be my friend?
And he called them his friends. We see throughout the gospel accounts that those who chose to befriend Jesus gained the best friend possible.
Why do I feel like it's going to get worse?
Hey
We'll
there.
see.
Oh, hey. Oh, you like to draw?
Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn
Hey
minute.
there. Oh, hey. Oh, you like to draw?
What is that? Do you... Please tell me. Please tell me I'm not the only one that reads it. Please tell me I'm not the only one that sees it. Here, let's enhance. Let's enhance. Let's go to Photoshop. Let's drop that in. I can't be the only one that sees it, right? I can't be the only one. Is it just me? It can't be just me that sees that. That's awful. Anyway.
I like your notes. Really cool.
Mom taught me. Pictures help me remember.
Me too. So, looks like we have a talk together.
Yeah.
I'll get in touch to practice soon.
Lydia, we're leaving.
Well, I gotta go. See you later, Sophia.
Oh, this is straight up Caleb and Sophia. That's just Sophia.
Hey, bro. Hey, good to see you. I'm glad I was on your team.
My favorite thing was the safari treehouse.
Yeah, it had all the cool jungle animals on the wall. Timmy, I didn't think your team was gonna make it.
It's taken a long time to get to the point.
My prize.
You got a prize? We all did.
So am I the only one that sees this as like a whole bunch of imagery saying that these are kids that are worldly? Am I the only one seeing that? I feel like maybe I'm incorrect, but it feels like that's what this is trying to say.
Okay, kids, settle down. Time to get started. We have a lot to talk about today.
Jeez.
Before we begin, for those of you that participated in the science club this weekend,
Oh, she literally wasn't allowed to participate in science club. Her parents isolated her and now she feels like shit. Oh, okay. That's the message. Neat.
we will be having another camping trip. But only the ones with the highest score on the math project will be selected to go. More on that after class.
Hey,
Now today,
Sophia, we need you in our club. You're good at science. We have another trip coming up.
Why is this such a hard thing for her? Just go on the trip. It's okay. It's okay to enjoy things. Is this gonna show her as like a virtuous
Hey,
martyr?
Sophia, come with us.
So, anyway, all the kids had badges and prizes and stuff. And it sounded like a lot of fun. And it seems like they really need my help.
Okay.
I see.
Oh, you see what's wrong with the car?
No, I wish. No, I see why you want to be in the club.
You do?
Of course. We all want to have friends and do fun things. Please, would you mind moving the light over here? Right there. Thank you.
I just wish I had some kid friends.
Then go make friends.
Jehovah wants you and me to have friends. But the question you need to ask yourself is, who should be my friend? Let's talk about it at our next family worship.
I like how she literally says, hey, there are these kids who want to do things with me. I think they're kind of cool. And the dad's response is not, hey, go do that if you enjoy that. The dad's response is, well, we need to be really selective about who we allow into the friend circle, you see. Kid's gonna end up with fucking trauma.
How about you go do some research on Martha? And I will tell Caleb too. And then we can come back together and talk about it as a family.
Do some research in my well-articulated propaganda. And after you do that research in that well-done, 100% set up specifically to deal with you propaganda, then we can go back and talk about this. Brakeman says, wait, go back. What do we need to go back for? What am I looking for? To where she was drawing
How about
Jesus?
you go do some research on Martha? And I will tell Caleb too.
Is that Jesus with Easter eggs? Or is that him with the, Wait, no, that can't be Jesus. That can't be Jesus. Jesus isn't bald.
And then we can come back
And that's also
together
Caleb.
and talk about it as a family. Sophia, are you ready?
Yeah. Martha, a Jewess, the sister of Lazarus, and Mary.
They lived in Bethany.
A village about 2 miles away from Jerusalem.
Which was probably Jesus' home base when he came down from Galilee.
Martha liked to cook.
Yes, she
Why'd you
did.
say that name?
And she would cook for Jesus and all his disciples when they would visit.
Wow, that would have been a lot of food.
Yes, and a lot of work.
But if they worked together, they'd make it a success.
However, some of their friends felt differently about Jesus.
Okay, and?
Martha makes the best apricot cakes. It's just a fact. You've always praised me too much, Talia.
Well, if it gets me more apricot cakes, I will continue to praise you.
Oh, Talia, did you hear? The teacher Jesus. He's coming back to visit.
The man from Galilee? Are you hosting him again?
Yes, I am. Actually, it's tonight.
I've heard a lot of talk. The Pharisees in Jerusalem, they don't approve of that man. I am not sure it's such a good idea for you to be known as his friend.
You know, it's kind of funny. The idea of this video is supposed to be that Sophia should be really selective about her friends. And yet what they're showing is a woman discriminating against Jesus with other friend groups. I feel like the professional propaganda got a little mixed up there. Just a little.
Okay, well, I guess I better be getting home. See you two later.
Yeah, Jesus is only Martha's nephew, that's all. It's Step Jesus.
Martha, Jesus is here.
Wouldn't they call him by his Arabic name just Yeshua? I mean, it doesn't matter. Like how we have the whole montage just going on. So I know there's a point to all this. This is just having the whole like usual music montage of things happening and trying to, you know, import significance onto Jesus being there. I get it. So what are all the guys look 30 years old today? Yeah. Do you wanna let us hear that conversation?
Wait. Let me get this straight. He wanted you and Mary to sit and learn about God just like the men? A teacher instructing women? A woman's job is to provide food for her household.
That's true. A good woman prepares herself for hard work. That's valuable. That's you, Martha.
This feels like an attempt at a progressive message. This feels like a really awkward, ham-fisted attempt at one.
Don't let this Jesus ruin you with his ideas.
Lazarus.
Just throw him in the Lazarus pit. It happened with Ra's al Ghul plenty of times.
So kind of you.
How is he doing?
Not well. I sent word to Jesus. He will help my brother.
You sent word to Jesus? Have you still not heard? He's angering people with his shocking speech. He's claiming to be God's son. He's crazy.
He's loyal to Jehovah, and he is our friend.
Okay. And then, of course, we know the story. Jesus does come and resurrects Lazarus.
But do you remember what happened next?
Jesus came back to Bethany and resurrected Lazarus.
Jesus was a real friend. He cared about Martha, Mary,
He was a white mage.
and Lazarus. And he showed them what kind of friend Jehovah can be to us.
But that's not where the story ends. Do you know what some people did after that?
Many of the Jews who saw what he did put faith in him, but some of them went off to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. Why did they do that?
Because they thought it was
Because not
necromancy?
even seeing Jesus bring someone back to life was enough to convince them that he was the Christ.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, technically they were right. Just because somebody can resurrect does not suddenly mean they are God. Like, all that convinces me of is that you have the ability to resurrect a person. In isolation, that is a wondrous feat. And I can't think of many situations where somebody can do that. It doesn't automatically make you God, though. It doesn't. Even if there's this concept that happens where even if we are ultimately wrong, our process might be right for something. And yeah, what does any of this have to do with Sophia going to the science club? I have no idea. But like, let's say you see a pit that looks bottomless and you jump right in, head first. And it just so happens that the pit has water in it, and you just hit the water, you splash, splash, everything's fine. You don't even get a tapeworm from the ordeal. You're perfectly okay. And then a friend throws you down a rope, you get out, all's good. Now, should you have jumped down that hole? No. Despite the fact that things worked out for you, does not mean that you should have done the thing. You should not have jumped down. But I do want to see, with 3 minutes left in the video, what the hell this has to do with the science fair.
They seemed like Martha's friends, but they hated Jesus.
How do you think Martha dealt with her unbelieving friends?
Jesus is the Christ, the resurrection and the life. He is the Son of God, and he is...
Have you considered asking her what would convince her? Instead of just asserting that he's the Son of God, have you ever considered asking a person, hey, what would convince you? Do you know what would convince you? That's sometimes a more valid approach than just going, he's God, though. He's God, though. Even in the scenario where he is, in fact, God, your method is still wrong.
He's my friend. Talia, you've been kind to me in the past. But you don't believe Jesus' teachings. We cannot be friends.
And that... So, okay, now we've gone past the story part of this, and we've gone back into the propaganda. The lovely thing about well-made propaganda is it can lure you in and make you feel like you're not being propagandized to. But now we've heard the exact line that tells us exactly what the bent of this is. If you have friends that don't believe in Jesus, automatically abandon them. Just abandon them. That is the message here, which means we probably know what's going to happen with that science fair. And I'm going to be honest, that was a real sneaky way of getting it in, up until the point where you said the words. You had us in the first half, not going to lie. Just cut off a whole friendship.
Martha
super
stuck
happy
with
about
Jesus
that.
And his friends. They helped her become Jehovah's friend.
Let me guess. Everybody at the science fair are worldly
So,
people.
Sophia, what do you think Jehovah is teaching you about friendship?
That I have to choose my friends carefully.
And how can you know if someone should be your friend?
If they help me be Jehovah's friend.
Isolate yourself from everybody around you that would not deepen your ties to the cult. If you are in the cult, and there are people around you who are not in the cult, and those people are not actively pushing you to stay in or deepen your love of the cult, get rid of them. I don't have to say it in so many words. The story did.
I am not gonna join the club.
That's my girl.
Why are you happy about that? Why is joining a science club bad? How do you even know if any of those people are also believers in Christ? What the fuck? How would you even know?
We are so proud of you, Sophia.
We're so proud of you for isolating yourself away from friends and deepening your own depression and potentially growing an entire resentment for our whole family when you grow up because we have personally fucked you up because of our cult.
And Jehovah is proud of you too. Now, how about you go finish up your homework? Mom tells me we have a guest coming over.
Yeah, moral of the story is only have friends that are Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't have other friends.
Jehovah, please help me find a good friend.
Let me guess. Magically, a Jehovah's Witness, a God-ordained child, will find their way into her life in about 20 seconds.
Someone who loves you.
Eight seconds.
At least you are my friend.
12 seconds.
Sophia!
16.
Lydia is here.
Our talk.
Hey, there's the 20-second mark.
You like turtles?
I love turtles.
Really? I've got something I want to show you.
I like turtles.
He is so cute.
Yep, cult approved other child.
You know, Sophia, I think we're going to be friends. Yep, definitely friends.
And there you go. Isolate yourself from other people. Don't make actual legitimate friendships with people around you. Wait for the cult to provide a person that you can actually be friends with, and all will work out in the end. I think I kind of want to barf. The entire premise of the video, without saying itself explicitly, is to isolate yourself from every single other person in the world, because they are, literally, in the eyes of Jehovah's Witnesses, they are worldly people. And since they are worldly people, they're not to be trusted, they're not to be hung around, they're not to be around. Realistically, when you hang around people of other perspectives, you become less of a bigot. You learn more about other people, how they live, how their families live, other cultures, other religions, other faiths. People who don't have a faith and the various reasons why. When you isolate yourself into an echo chamber and the only language that you use is literally going, well, you just don't believe in Jehovah. You just don't believe, and that makes you different than me, and I don't like that. You convince nobody. Also, Agamotto, thank you for redeeming your points for an ara. Fucking degen. But you don't convince anybody with that kind of language, and you end up isolating yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. In this case, into the Watchtower Society, but broadly into any cult. Like, the entire point of something like this is to keep you in a cult. And I don't know how to describe it besides it's manipulative, it's gross. And I know Telltale covered this video as well, and I've chosen not to watch his video because I don't want to regurgitate any of the points he has. And I know his points will be probably sharper, different, and better than mine because he's an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I'm not. I'm an ex-Baptist. Well, non-denominational, but non-denominational in the South just means Baptist Light. There was a person on my comment section that disagreed with that statement, and I feel like they were dumb and wrong and dumb. So that's the information control part of the bite model. It is amazing how an organization that so desperately needs its people to provide the funding for it. It cannot exist without the people giving their tithes to the church. Will do anything in its power to keep its youngest in its folds so that when they start earning money, they can start giving money to the church as well. Also, yeah, for those who don't know the bite model, it's a model for from Stephen Hassan for identifying cults. B is for behavior control, I is for information control, T is for thought control, and E is for emotional control. Information control was shown in this video very obviously because the information that she wanted to come was not going to be from a club of people in a science club. they wanted the information to come only from their own Watchtower literature. The thought control came from the isolation. The emotional control came from literally the fucking God-provided friend. She desperately needs that friend, but now she has one in the church, and now, if she happens to leave the church, she'll end up losing that friend, the only friend she was allowed to have. It's a reliance factor that Jehovah's Witnesses bank on. And altogether, that makes up your behavior control. Your habits will now comport themselves to the whims of the church. Because if they don't, you'll lose your friends. You'll lose your family. You might even lose your sanity. And it's just fucking gross. But that's all I've got there. If there's anything that I missed, if you want to inform me of all the things that Telltale did better than me, by all means, the comment section is perfect for that. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, everybody, insert end of video tagline here.